Hi everyone, this is Craig from Paris. I hope you're well. Wishing you a happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy whatever you want and whatever your tradition is into. Hope this end of year is going well for you and your family. Wishing you the best, and above all, as we always say here, or I say at least in French, santé, health, bonheur, happiness, et prospérité. Prosperity, well-being, in all kinds of meaning of it. So that's what I wanted to wish you all, my regular and new and occasional viewers, and all the best for this end of year. Why not wishing a happy new year? Because I'm not into it, we're not into it yet, and I'm a bit superstitious, so I prefer to wish you those things in due course. Right. I struggle to, oh, sorry for the noise outside. I struggle to give a title to this video. I wanted to do at the beginning something called My Wishes for next year and what to expect, etc., etc. But it wasn't interesting for me, relevant or whatever, and also it jumped on next year's topic, wishes, etc. And also there are a lot of things, there are a lot of bottles that I found interesting that I couldn't buy, of course, because we only have one salary, at least me, and I don't have a Patreon. This is also an issue I hope someday to solve in a way, but I will speak about something else, which is a privilege I have, so finally, because some of you asked me a Whiskey of the Year video, I had to be honest and a bit provocatively, but you will understand why I say that. I will title this video, "This is not a Whiskey of the Year video." But, and the title would be too long, but I will try to give you my highlights of the year that was, and for a more in-depth, not in-depth, but a more comprehensive year assessment, annual assessment of what I've tried, I really advise you to see my videos about my biggest French show reports, because basically 100 whiskies are and other spirits are displayed there and explained, not always the physical bottle, but explained, and also a lot of other spirits. That said, I will do a short summary with my little book, notebook here, as an introduction, and then I will speak to you about a couple of bottles that lead us also to the new year. Right, so let's start with a quick, and before, for those who haven't seen it, I did a short video because it was too complicated to do a long one, and it will take hours and hours and be way too long to show, to upload first off, and to show, and also it's a bit delicate if I show you everything, even if it's small, but I can show you I recently changed those shelves here, and 3 of the 5, or say 5 to 6 shelves, I replaced my book art, which I put on other elsewhere, by whiskies, because they were beginning to be a bit remote, and it was a bit messy and a bit dangerous. Some were falling easily when I was grabbing another one. So when I will post pictures on Instagram, for instance, you will see more bottles like this on the shelves. Of course, they are before me here. You can see there. They're also downstairs, I mean on the ground, on the bags, etc., all over the place. Okay, there you have it. I have something in my glass to wish you a happy end of year to start with, and this is a bottle kill, let's say it right away, of a version of the classic, which is really something amazing as it was back in 2012. Now the recipe has changed. They dropped the peat. There was a light peat on it because they prefer to do separate core range peated whiskies with another name, the Yun LS. Armagnac, for those who don't know, it's the Varanghem distillery from Brittany, France. So it's not a bottle kill, but I will kill it within the weekend for sure to make room for new bottles. So I would like first to thank you for watching me, for supporting me, and even for those who come just for a few minutes, thanks for passing by. To my most faithful subscribers, a big thank you for your support all the way, even when I had difficulties health-wise, etc. I really appreciate that. So this is a first toast for you. Cheers, Langeva, Santé, Skål, etc. I reviewed it. It's lovely. It's something, I mean, somewhere, for those who don't know, it was, at least in those old bottles, somewhere between a light Colilla peat-wise, or even it's not a Bowmore style, it's more Colilla but softened, but with a kind of Highlands feel, with some grassy, some green elements, and the malted barley behind it. So it's a lovely expression. I reviewed it on my channel in English and in French, so you can have a look. Second sip, to give a toast to the generous and wonderful people of the whiskey community that swapped or offered me samples this year and the previous years. Before I toast, for instance, one of the most recent generous was from Menno Multi-Mission, Glenrothes vintage one, which was in American oak, which is rare in official bottlings. I mean, rare that way, let's say. Luna Aran with, for instance, this Aran, of course, a 12 years old master of distilling Palo Cortado. This is not a recent one, but it's one I was really looking to try it, so thanks, Luna. What do we have else? Gert from Whiskey Lover Society with his wonderful Talisker special release. Thank you very much. What else do we have? Yeah, also a French woman who really supports my YouTube channel for a long time. Sonia, thank you so much, Sonia. Who, for instance, this is a Veuve Goudoulin French whiskey from Miclo distillery, and this is an Armagnac cask, so I would review those, of course. And also she made me discover, because she travels a lot, or her family travels a lot, a Brazilian whiskey, Lamas, which I will try soon and let you know my thoughts as well. So lovely people, and merci beaucoup. Thank you very much to you all. Yum, 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 yummy. So, what's on my table? And what I'm doing with this? Because, guess what? I just received 2 bottles, and the others I got them yesterday. So, I have to be careful with health issues and virus and stuff, so I will wash my hands. But before I get to what's on the table, and I'm watching the time very quickly, for those who don't have the courage to see 1 hour annual assessment of shows, video, or plus 1 hour of tastings and reports specific on tasting. Let's do not 5 minutes, but I'm gonna see if I can do 5 minutes. It would be awesome. So bear with me. So I started this notebook in March 31, 2022, starting by an Adelphi and Armagnac. You know, those Armagnac distillery belongs to Adelphi Indie Bottling Company, at a whiskey shop Paris. And we had a masterclass by Guillaume Coudière, who is the French distributor, and Antonia Bruce, of course, who's more tightly linked to the Adelphi company. We had the blended whiskey Dancing Man, which is nice, which I have to review, or did I review it? I don't remember. We have 2 Armagnac, one that I bought and reviewed. Anyway, I bought the 2 and I reviewed the 2. So the AD 2103 and the AD 02.2012 cask strength. Right. We had also Derluin, Linkwood, Bernrinus, very nice Linkwood, High Coast 8 years old, which I also reviewed. I will do a High Coast rundown later on this year with 4 bottles. Swedish whiskey, Swedish distillery. I had also a masterclass of Bruno Mangin French whiskey, which does all wine cask. It's a distillery from Jura, not Jura in Scotland, Jura in France. So it's a distillery who does only maturation in local wines from Jura. Most of the time, let's say, or from other regions sometime, but I think it's mostly from their area. So some nice stuff, some more difficult stuff. Watching the time, where did I have also the official press launch of the Balvenie 16 French Oak, which was interesting, but I found the value to be discussed a bit way too expensive. I said it, for what it gives, but still a nice whiskey if you can afford it. The highlight we also had food pairings with a lot of Balvenies. The 2 highlights of the evening Balvenie wise were still the 21 years old Portwood. Even at 40%, it delivered a lot. So it's one on my wish list, but if I only win a lottery, because it's way more expensive, the fantastic, phenomenal Balvenie 30 years old, absolutely amazing stuff. Something around 93 out of 100 on first assessment with a reservation. And then also there was a nice tune 80. I cannot read it. Weird. 8008? No, cannot be. For Taiwan. Then we had Cocktail Spirits, which was one of my favorite shows, with a lot of novelties. We had a lot of new different spirits. Short Shoe from Super Short Shoe Spirits was interesting. Some rum, some gin. I will get back to some of those. Beautiful mezcal tasting by Del Maguey with a lot of nice bottles. What else? Finnish whiskey from Helsinki. It's the brand. They also had the rye. A nice Armagnac from D'Artigalong. Nice affordable cognacs from Bache Gabrielsen. Gros Perrin had a stunning 25 years old. Unfortunately, it's sold out. That's why you're not seeing on the table. Cognac vintages, I mean, with numbers and not specially defined letters such XO, VSOP, etc. You don't see often 25 years old so often, let's say. So yeah, 25 years old, unadulterated, cask strength, Gros Perrin is always a treat. I couldn't get my hands on that one, but maybe will grab the next one. I heard it's as equivalent, so that's what the producer says. So I will have the opportunity maybe to try a bottle of a friend soon. Armagnac, it's on the table, so I speak of it later on. Some other interesting but not outstanding rums. And then the two big shows, Club Expert Dugas and Whisky Life Paris. I'm gonna be quick because I did a full video about it, but basically for me what was interesting, it was also, and it's one of that you can see on my table, the favor made to by more young distilleries maybe, and get in touch with what they're doing now in Scotland, but not only. So very interesting, very balanced range from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whiskies I tried from the Spirit of Yorkshire. Brand of single malt is Fillet Bay. So head over to my report to learn more about it. Lochley, the two first expressions from this lowland, Scottish this time, distillery. Interesting, but still some work to do in my opinion on them. French distillery from Les Hauts-de-France, Hautefeuille, Picardy, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting, very barley forward, as many French new distilleries. Gin and whiskey from Isle of Raasay, but there's one bottle I want to buy, so you'll probably hear more about it soon. Isle of Raasay is a Highlands island, but it's within the Highlands category for now. Whiskey distillery, young whiskey distillery. Some nice aquavit also from Kimmerud in Norway. Vietnamese gin, it's so improbable, which is awesome, with local ingredients. Of course, the big thing was Springbank, and honestly I loved everything I've tried on the stand, so I'm not gonna help decrease the hype and everything. 10 years old, 20 years old cask strength, Hazelburn 15, Olorzo, Hazelburn 31, but way too expensive anyway. I will never get to try it. Controversial not for me, but based on one try, I really love the Kilkerran 8 batch 6 Portwood that some hate. I haven't had the time to try the sherry. Very quickly now, Whisky Life Paris, lots of things. I will focus on the revelation of the year. I have a few samples yet to try. Le Breuil from Chateau du Breuil, Calvados producers initially, still doing a lot of Calvados, but within the parent company La Spiriterie Française, they do whiskey as well within Le Breuil brand, but I also have some rums. They have a lot of spirits, apple driven, but not only. They have also partnered for their blended whiskies with La Maison Boineau, a cognac one, doing the Herriot's single malt. Celtic Whisky Distillery, which was the new name after the rebrand 2020, I think, in 2020-21 rebrand of the company, was presenting a new blend, which is a world blend, Gualarn, but also a nice Glenarmor and Cornog. I will speak about them again. Armoric was presenting some old stuff, not always interesting value-wise in my opinion, but respectable and decent. Some very nice novelties on the petite side as well. More spectacular, of course, was the 21 years old, more symbolically maybe than, because 500 more euros, who's going to buy this? The new Grail, if you want, 21 years old, the oldest French whiskey ever bottled. I spoke and showed you pictures about it. Villanova brand from Castan Distillery. Then a highlight that's on the table, that will be the last part of the video. Something that I haven't got on the table, but I really want to have it. It's in my wish list, and I speak more about it on the long video about the live shows. It's of course the 4 expressions I tried from High West, which is a beautiful distillery from the USA. Amrut have some nice things and some more challenging and also uninteresting money-wise, the value-wise whiskies, but the Triparva, which is too expensive in France, really did attract my attention for its subtlety of the triple distillation. Dingle, everything was great. I will have to go back to it with details. Cotswolds, it was almost the same. Already spoke about it. Kingsbourne, there's one on the table. I can show it now. That I recently acquired. It's the Balcomi. It's the 100% sherry version, and I have to wash my hands because it arrived today. So I don't know. It did so quick that I think we're not best the delay to touch things safely. Yes, I'm a person with risk, so I gotta be careful. Nicnin, very nice stuff as well. I'm gonna speak again about it, and I did review very quickly, I think, the bottle I have. Fettercairn, a very nice surprise as well, upping their game with some beautiful expressions. I see here Whiskey Life Paris Day 2, so gonna be quick. Revelation of the other spirits section, the fact that 40%ers cognacs can be absolutely amazing, and it's the same for Armagnac. I wasn't thinking that really before, with the exception of very old ones that anyway cannot be a lot over 40%. One of the highlights is Ferrand XO, but Ferrand 32 years old. Ferrand Sélection des Anges, absolutely stunning stuff. This leads me to a link that I will give you to someone who did a better job than me. Is Chris Trevino from Liquor Hound, one of top 5 in my opinion reviewers of all kind, blogs, YouTube, etc. A true one, and not someone that's have to show off all the time his certification, but he has some. I will put a link to his Whiskey of the Year video. I really recommend. Camus XO Borderie, that was one of the most fruity and floral forward cognac I ever had. For 40%, it's unbelievable. It is not cheap, that's why it's not on the table already. Valentersignier, again, the vintages, there was some beautiful 1998, 1972, 1966 vintages. Delors, I have one on the table, so I will get back to it. L'Encantada, another Armagnac that was interesting. On French distilleries, quickly, the Tos distillery, the other side. In North France was presenting 3 expressions. Artesia is the single malt brand. You will probably see one on the table soon. I will go quick on some other brands. US wise, because I have nothing on the table, I'm sorry. This time Michter's again showed how great they are with a new toasted barrel that I had never tried before. Awesome. There was also a special tribute heritage collection with Shanks and Bomberger, stunning stuff. Slightly more challenging but very interesting because it's a new single malt distillery. Westward from Oregon was also had some nice stuff. Westland, of course. I spoke about Westland a lot before. Garena and Colère I tried and enjoyed. Whistle Pig, the 12, I check up if it was as good as before. It was. 15 years old Estate Oak Rye, very interesting. Let's put the disappointments away. Encouraging the Iron Lag, honestly. So some decent Glenallachie 8 years old, which impressed me more, I'm sorry, than the 10 years old cask strength, which was still nice. More interesting for me as a blender, the White Heather 15 years old, which has some Glenallachie in it by the same company. Then we had a lot of gins there, so I won't go too much in there. Some Irish whiskies, I spoke about it mostly on Instagram. Please check out my Instagram. I will get back to it for the gin section quickly. And about the whiskies, my first really experience with Waterford with Organic Gaia 2.1, Petit Fenis Court and the Cuvée. They were all good, but I did struggle maybe to differentiate the one from the other, because they were all a mixed cask recipe. But I've evolved in my opinion, and I need to try more. Price is steep, to be honest, for a young distillery, but it's not the only ones. But I am more willing now to engage a bit more with their whiskies. Right. A bit of whiskey, a bit of water. Wada is important. Wada makes your whiskies. Let's put these samples away and do a quick overview for you. Voila, looking forward to try some of them maybe live on some nice platform. What can I say? This year, let's start by something else than whiskey. This year was very interesting for me, gin-wise. Some of you don't know, I'm very interested in gin for a long time. Started with famous gins like Tanqueray, and I still have the 10, which is awesome. Typical London dry gin. But this year I discovered that gin were not only made in England, and even in England there were some really great new comment je veux dire ça? And I lost my English. De nouveaux acteurs, new actors in the play, in the game, and it's not really new, but that I will do a special gin video. I know I said that, but I'm still gathering a few more gins. I have 18 gins now, so come on. Be patient. Cotswolds gin. Really one of the most complex, flavorful and interesting gins around in the planet. Very impressed also by the whiskies, but I had to show you that. My favorite one on a more terroir side, if I may say, is also a work of craft in terms of packaging and in terms of the care and the specificity of its content, container and content. This is hard to beat. The Isle of Harris gin, really, I highly recommend. For you guys fans of Talisker and its maritime sea spray elements, if you drop the peat, you can and add some botanicals, you get this, in my opinion. Stunning stuff. Really looking forward to see their, hopefully soon, their single malt. Yes, they're preparing single malts. I heard a bit about it, so I will speak about it when I have more infos. It was just a spoiler. It should be interesting and unadulterated, contrarily to other new distilleries. Just saying. Distilleries making in Scotland whiskey and gin. Yes, another cracker, the Botanist from Bruichladdich. You know that already. if you're interested in gin. The two revelations of the year, if I may say, it's not a revelation per se, but the eye-opener on the French and Irish, let's start by the Irish, boom on gin distilleries, or distilleries making whiskey and gin, was my invitation to the Spirit of Ireland from Bordebia. Thank you again. At the Irish Embassy, it was a privilege. We were not very numerous to be invited there, to be honest, on the whiskey side of press. I haven't bought a lot of Irish gins yet because a lot are not distributed in France. Simple as that, because they are too craft. I did a big report on Instagram. Again, please go to my Instagram, Greg's Whiskey Guide, in one word, and with nothing else after, because there's a bastard with that added an underscore after it, and it's a fake account. Please do not subscribe to that, and subscribe only to the one with Greg's Whiskey Guide with nothing after it. Anyway, you cannot mistake it, because I did around 204 something like that posts, and you know me. If you check out this account, this is me. The other one has only one post, has recently changed the image and shows a man, which is not me, but he he stole everything information wise and presenting on a screen that's me. So I reported about it, but I cannot do anything else for now. Please report it if you go there. The more people that will report the fake account, the more I hope it will work. So I bought the only one I could try here. I could try find. This is one from the Shed Distillery, which also makes whiskey, but alas, I couldn't try yet the whiskies. I tried several ones, but that one was a good value, and I love the packaging. And that one relies a bit on Chinese tea. So this topic, I will go back again, the Oriental side, Asian side of gins, which leads me to one that arrived today, that I tried at the Gin Addict show in Paris, which was the first gin show in Paris this year. Look at it, how gorgeous it is. Inside, you don't know, but outside, yes. And it won already London Spirits Gold, LSC, I don't know what that means, gold this year on a contest. I just noticed that. So yeah, this is the Distillerie du Gorvalo. I don't want to mistake. Distillerie du Gorvalo, like this. I will speak about it again. And it's an artisanal premium gin, as they say. Very interesting. Moving from this to other spirits before getting back in to whiskey. This blew my mind a few years ago and still does. Not a good much left. The OFTD from Plantation, said to be a mixer. Come on. Not only, guys, not only. This is, if a good batch, really amazing despite 69% ABV. This is really complex and beautiful stuff. If you love, can I describe this? It will be too long. If you love unadulterated, it seems this one is one of the least flavored, etc., sugared of their range. I have others that are really Plantation that way too sugared for me. I was disappointed by one I bought, but this one is great. On the rum side, there's also something that really interests me, and I would like to go further. I couldn't saw them at Whiskey Live, unfortunately. Too many whiskey stands and gin stands to do rum, and I did cognac, and I cannot do everything. But this interests me. I showed you probably already New Grove from Île Maurice, Mauritius Island. because of it, of the fact there's nothing added to it, contrary to a lot of rums, and also it's an acacia finish, which interested me compared to my experience as a blender, professional now blender, part-time only, but for the French Northman distillery I already talked to you about. So this was for me, and this is great, very nice. I should do a rum video as well, I know. I had now not many, maybe 7, 8 aged rums and a few also unaged ones. This is not increasing quickly. Have to have budget, and I pull the trigger more on gins and young distilleries of whiskey this year. Going back to whiskey, one of the highlights I told you, I won't say it my whiskey of the year, so that's why do I didn't do a whiskey of the year video, because when I visited those shows, I consider, due to my curiosity for other spirits and also young distilleries from the world, I didn't try enough new Scottish bottlings, Scottish whiskey bottlings, to give you a really decent overview of the Scottish scene in 2022. That is why I cannot name that Whiskey of the Year 2022, because I really missed a lot of typical great Scottish distilleries stand to tell you if this new expression is good, if this core range one is still consistent, etc. So just tried a couple of, so I cannot pretend to do that. So that's why I'm giving you links to other channels. But this was definitely one of the highlights, and it's now more widely distributed. I struggled to get this, but I managed. This deserved a full separate videos. I talked about it in several videos. This is a pastry treat kind of, let's say, and one of the best Canadian whiskies I ever tried also, and I'd like to insist on that. This is a work of art, if I may say, blending wise, because the whiskey is from 8 to 13 years old. This distillery is now pulling the big guns to bring you something very well crafted and assemblé in French. Blended, assemblage means blend, if you see this word. So yeah, really beautiful whiskey. Now, what was interesting this year, but yeah, let's go to new distilleries. Just arrived today, like I said, the Kingsbourne Balcony, that I tried at Whiskey Live and liked it. Also, something that's French exclusive, French market exclusive, I was very curious of. Didn't want to buy it without tasting. I had a pour yesterday at the retailing shop, exceptionally, because they only had 3 bottles for France. This, I mean, not everywhere, but this shop had only 3 bottles of the special Tiron Gardé cask. Tiron Gardé is an area in France. It's also an abbey and a small town with a forest, and it's a single cask, and the cask comes from that forest. I will tell you more about it when I will open it and review it, because it has a very special story linked to France and to the history of the Lindores Abbey Distillery, the first one back to the 15th century and even before, when the monks of the Tiron Gardé visited and worked there in Scotland, in Fife, in Lowlands. So it's a lowland distillery, for those who don't know it. Beautiful packaging that I had the chance to try and to visit in 2018, and you have the link. Also, I bought this because I had a little offer on it. I had never tried that one. I tried before it was 3 years old, several sample. So looking forward to try this. This is a bit heavy, right? And this is again a long video, but anyway, for me, I cannot be elsewhere, it seems, anyhow else for this kind of video. Very quick now, I spoke about Heiko's beautifully medium peated, medium to 40, but it is so well balanced that it's beautiful coastal Swedish single malt. I really recommend. Great value as well. Depending on where you are, 40 to 50 euros. One whiskey I cannot say enough good about it. It's my third bottle now. I shared a lot, and I did a blending recipe I gave away on video for you for my number 72 Assemblage Maison home blend. Beautifully peated with a bit of aniseed, with a bit of if I may say Isla funk, a bit farmy, but one of the most balanced and most beautiful young Kilchoman I ever tried. This for me is way better than my bottle old one, maybe not the current expression, but the Makir Bay, the 2012 I have one of the early releases. Is good, but there's something that's missing there. This is a bourbon and sherry mix, but it's way more bourbon than sherry, but the sherry just adds some more complexity to it. This is a Loch Gruinard you can't find only in France, and most probably online, so really recommend. From 38 to 44 euros. This is with the one that's behind me, Kulila 12. Those two for me are unbeatable value wise, if you speak about disclosed distilleries, right? No comment. Great value. Unadulterated, genuine, first fill bourbon whiskey. That's all. You know that already. The level, the praise, my video. This is called Orchard House, and this is true. This is not a fruit bomb. This is a super well balanced blended malt. Blended malt? Huh. Yeah. With highlights. Okay, it's young, but there's a nice highlight on floral and fruity sides. I love it. John did a great job on it. Or shall I say James Saxon, because he's responsible for this, one of his blenders. Last but not least, not open yet, but I tried and I have a wee sample, end of sample left. Récolte de Mille from Delors, very nice Armagnac, undecently affordable price. I don't remember now, for something like 75 or so. It's no, come on. There you have it, my non-whiskey of the year video, but more likely my highlights of the year whiskey and other spirits wise, Malternatives, if you like, Serge, video. I hope it was interesting. However, not displaying all the Scotch offer today. And again, I wish you happy Christmas and take care and have a nice end of year with your family, relatives, and like someone which has a heart as big as he says his Big Al. Hi mate. I like what it says, take care of each other, of yourself and of each other. I like when he says that. Bye my friends, and see you most probably next year. And in French, we'll see. Maybe some other videos before the end of the year. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. See you soon. Thanks for watching.